open the content page. Open the content page of your science book. I'm also sharing the screen. Okay, so I hope all of you can see the content page. The coming exam is SA1 Summative Assessment 1. In Summative Assessment 1, the syllabus is chapter 2, 3, 4, and 7. So everyone mark the chapters first. So what is the syllabus for the coming SA1 exam? Chapter 2, 3, 4, and 7. Chapter 2, that is adaptation in plants. Chapter 3, that is reproduction in animals. Chapter 4, that is adaptation in animals. And chapter 7, that is safety rules. And along with that, the model test paper 1 will also be there. Okay, as you have completed 1, 5, and 6 also. Okay, so 1, 5, and 6 will not be there, but in model test paper, the model test paper 1 will be there. Okay, you will have to solve the model test paper 1, and if any question is there in model test paper 1 from chapter 1, 5, and 6, that can come. Okay, not the other questions, only of model test paper 1, as you have already completed it. Okay, so the syllabus for AC1 exam is chapter 2, 3, 4, and 7, and model test paper. I have noted. Now today we will start chapter 2, adaptation in plants. So everyone open chapter 2, page number 12. Adaptation. So here you can see, so everyone open chapter 12. Everyone turn on your video and open chapter 12. Sorry, page 12, chapter 2. You can see a box here. 5 pictures are there. What you will have to do in this part, look at this plant, identify them, and write L for the plants that grow on land and W for the plants that grow in water. Okay, so it's very easy. If you see the picture, you can see the first picture, it will be L. The second picture will also be L. The third picture is a lotus, so it will definitely be a W, because it always grows in water. The fourth picture, this will also be L, and the fifth picture, it's also just like water lily, so it will be W. Okay, so everyone write with your pencils. Always remember, whenever you are writing in your book, always use pencils, never use pens. Okay, so the first one will be L, as the coconut trees always grow in land. And the second one will also be L. This is also a tree that that grows on land. The third one is a lotus, which grows in water, so it will be W. The fourth one is also will be L, will also be L, and the last one is water lily, so it will be W. Okay, I hope you all have written this one. So let's see what is written here. Adaptation in plants. So for that, we will have to know what is adaptation. So whenever any plant or animal, not only plants, in animals also we can see adaptation. Whenever any plant or animal changes something or gets some particular feature, whether in their body structure or it can also be an internal change. Okay, whenever a plant or an animal has some changes to fit themselves in a particular habitat. Habitat means the place where they live. So to live properly, to live safely in that particular habitat, whenever any plant or animal has some particular changes in their body, that is called adaptation, either in their body or in their in some features, like, or in their behavior. So whatever change they have in their life, in their body, to live in a particular habitat properly, that is called adaptation. In a particular place, there are usually lot of different kinds of plants growing together. This collection of plants is known as plant community. So mark this, what is plant community? When at a particular place, so many plants live together, that is called plant community. Plants grow in places where the climate is suitable for them. So which climate is suitable for which type of plant, that plant only grows there. This is why we can see more and more coconut tree in the coastal areas, because the climate in the coastal area is appropriate for the growth of the coconut tree, right? So the climate, when the climate is suitable for their growth, only then plants grow in some particular places. They need right kind of soil too. Different plants need different climatic conditions. Climatic conditions means the environment, the climate, the weather. So for the growth of different plants, different climatic conditions are needed. Some plants grow in hot deserts, where some plants grow in very cold places. Some plants grow in water and some plants grow on land. Some plants even grow under the water. Some plants grow in the hilly regions. The living or dwelling place of a plant or an animal is known as habitat. This is very, very important question. What is a habitat? So the answer should be the living or dwelling place of a plant or animal is called the habitat. So the place where a particular type of plant or any animal lives, that place is known as the habitat. Now go to the next page. Sometimes the plants have to adjust according to the environment by changing some of their parts. Exactly what I was telling you. The modification in the structure and function of an organism to adjust the various habitats are known as adaptations. Mark this also. This is also very important question. What is adaptation? So the modification means change. The modifications in the structure and function of an organism to adjust the various habitats. So various different habitats have different climatic conditions. As it is already said here that some plants grow in hot deserts and some plants grow in very cold regions. So in deserts, the temperature is very high, it is very hot there. And in the cold regions, the colder regions, there is ice, where there is ice everywhere, or where the temperature is very low. There the climate is also different. Or in the rainforest, right? In the rainforest, we can see rain throughout the year. So they will have to stay alive in that heavy rain, or the plants that live under the water or in the water. So they must develop some particular features, or they must have some modifications or changes in their body that helps them to live in that particular place, to live under the water, the plants that live under the water. So they need to have some modifications, some changes in their body to live in the particular habitat where they are living. So this modification is called the adaptation. There are two main habitats of the plants. What do you mean by habitat? I have told you before, habitat means the place where the plants live. That place is called the habitat. Two main habitats are there. You can see here two main habitats are there. One is terrestrial habitat, another is aquatic habitat. Terrestrial habitat. So the plants that live on terrestrial habitat, that live in terrestrial habitat, they are called terrestrial plants. The plants that live in terrestrial habitat, they are called terrestrial plants. Okay. The plants that live on land, they are called terrestrial plants. So terrestrial means land. Okay. Terrestrial habitat means land, and the plants that live on land or terrestrial habitat, they are called terrestrial plants. The word terrestrial came from the word terra. The word terrestrial came from the word terra, T-E-R-R-A, terra. Terra means land. So this is why the plants that live on land, they are called terrestrial plants. These plants are found in the following regions. So in which places or in which regions the terrestrial plants can be seen? They can be seen in the plains, they can be seen on the mountains, they can be seen in the wet marshy areas, or they can even be seen in hot dry deserts. So these are the four places or four habitats where we can see terrestrial plants. That means plants that live on land. Now we will read about the first one, that means the plants in plains. Trees growing in plains have more space to spread out. They have flat leaves. These help water vapor to evaporate and keep the tree cool when the climate is very hot. Flat leaves also help to trap a lot of sunlight. Some of these trees lose all their leaves at once. This happens mostly before the winter in an autumn season. And these trees are not evergreen. As spring approaches, new leaves start growing. The people and the mulberry trees are like this. So the plants that live in the plains, they are of two types. One trees are like they are evergreen trees. Evergreen trees means throughout the year they never shed their leaves. Okay. And some trees are there that shed all the leaves before winter. Okay, before winter in autumn season. So these are not evergreen. These are called non-evergreen trees. They shed their leaves before winter and in the autumn season. And when the spring is coming or before the spring, they again grow new leaves. And the plants that grow in plains, most of them have very broad leaf blades, just like this. So they have very broad leaf blades. So as they have very broad leaf blades, that means they have more what? They have more pores on the leaf surface. And what are these pores called? These pores are called stomata, right? These pores are called stomata. The more stomata they have, the more water they can release in the form of water vapor from their body. If they have extra amount of water, that will harm them. So if they have more stomata on the leaf surface, that means they can release more water in the form of water vapor. And you all know what is the process called? This process is called transpiration. The process by which green plants release their extra water in the form of water vapor from their body, that is called transpiration. So the more broad the leaf blade will be, the more stomata will be there on the leaf blade, and the more water they can release from their body in the form of water vapor. And the more water they can release, the more cool the plant will remain during the hot summer days. Now let's see, look at this part, true fact. Oil obtained from the seeds of the neem leaves is used to cure the skin diseases. The powdered wood applied externally as a paste is reportedly used to treat leprosy and skin diseases. So in this true fact box, we can learn that what are the uses of different parts of neem tree. What are the uses of different parts of neem tree? The oils that we can get from the seeds of neem tree, they are used for curing many different types of skin diseases. And if we make a powder of the wood from the neem tree and we apply it externally, that paste is also used for the treatment of various different types of skin diseases and leprosy. So this is a very, very important true box. Next, plants in mountains. The plants in mountains you must have seen. See, the pictures are also given here. Their shapes are like a cone. You can see this is the Deodar tree. This is a Deodar tree. Cone means which shape is called a cone? See, this is a cone. Triangle, and this is a cone. This is the conical structure. Okay, you all know I'm just drawing the shape of a conical structure for you. You all know which structure is called a conical structure? This one, right? So this is the structure of a cone, or this is a conical structure. And maximum trees that we can see in the mountains, they have this conical structure. You can see in this picture that is given in your book, the Deodar tree and the fir tree, FIR, fir. These have the conical structures. This is why these trees are called coniferous trees, because these trees have a conical structure. They are called coniferous trees. They have shape like that of a cone. The conical shape helps snow to slide off their branches. Pine, deodar, and fir are some such trees. That means these are the examples of the coniferous trees. They have leaves throughout the year and they are called evergreen trees. So the trees that have leaves throughout the year, they are called evergreen trees. And as these trees have the conical structure, so what happens whenever there is a snowfall, snow just slides down due to this structure. The snow is not stored or stopped on any part of the plant. It is slided down because the structure of the tree is a conical structure. So the snow cannot be stored inside any part of the tree. It directly slides downward. So this is how also by this structure the trees save themselves from the snow. Now everyone go to the next page, that is page number 14. Page number 14. Tea plants grow in hilly regions. Step farming is done in hilly region. You all know that what is step farming? You have seen it in SST also. These plants need heavy rainfall. Darjeeling and Assam are famous for their tea gardens. So any two places that are famous for the tea gardens are Darjeeling and Assam. Okay. Okay, now look here. Plants in coastal areas. Plants in coastal areas. So what does coastal area mean? Coastal area means the place near the sea. the place near the sea. You must have seen that the place which are that are near the sea, in those places some plants are generally common, that we can see coconut. Coconut is a very common tree that we can see near the sea. So these places are called coastal area near the sea. The water is very salty there because we all know that the sea water is salty, and the climate is humid in these places. Humid means the humidity is always very high. Now, what do you mean by humidity? Humidity means the presence of water vapor into the air. The presence of water vapor into the air is called humidity. And the climate is humid means the humidity is very high. That means in the air of the coastal area, there is much more water vapor present in the air, and that is quite natural because the coastal area is the area that is near to the sea. From the sea, the water during the daytime, for the sea for the sunlight, the water becomes evaporated, and it changes into water vapor. This is why in the air of the coastal area, the amount of water vapor is always high. This is why it is told that the climate is humid. That means humidity is high. That means presence of water vapor in the air is very high. The trees to grow in coastal areas are like coconut, paper, rubber, this, because the climate and the what because of the climate and the water here that suits them. They are called evergreen trees. Why? Because they never shed their leaves. They do not shed their leaves at once. A few leaves are lost once every year. A few leaves are lost once, but they do not shed all the leaves together. Okay, so this is why they are called evergreen trees. Okay, so now students, mark up to this. Everyone should read this part. Tomorrow, first of all, I will ask you few questions from this part, and then we will start from plants in the desert. Okay. So what we have learned today? Today, so open the first page. We have learned what is plant community, what is habitat, what do you mean by adaptation, how many types of habitats are there. We have learned about different types of terrestrial plants, and we have read in details about some terrestrial plants like plants in plains, plants in mountains, and plants in coastal areas. Coastal area means the areas which are present near the sea. So tomorrow we will start from plants in desert. Okay. So read this part